Hi, this is Sue for Parkies and Me, My Journey with Parkinson's. Today I thought I'd talk about accepting our limits as we age. And it's not always an easy thing to do, I know, but I thought it was a good topic to start with. So in March this year I turned 64. I was going to say 63, oh dear. So in March this year I turned 64. Just 1 year off the age of receiving a pension from the government next year. So, yeah, I'm going to be a pensioner in a year's time, almost exactly. So that's a little bit to get my head round. So, yeah, the thing is, it's difficult sometimes to accept who we are as we age and to get a true picture of what we want to do versus what we would be wise or unwise to actually do. So I've just freshly come out of hospital and I've been looking at the rest of my life in front of me, and I will always have a back that's susceptible to damage if it's pushed too far. And I had said that I wanted to do a number of things once I had this operation. One of those things was that I wanted to ride my e-bike. Now, I bought my e-bike almost exactly 3 years ago this week. And it's a beautiful red e-bike, and I bought saddlebags for it, and I was looking forward to going on adventures. So, yeah, I've been looking forward to doing that. And I've only ridden it a few times since we've been here. There are bike tracks around near where we live, and quite gentle ones, so an elderly person such as myself can get on their e-bike and go for a ride. A couple of years ago I had to have an operation on replacing a full knee joint replacement on my right hand side. So in the lead up to the operation, I hadn't been able to ride my bike because my knee was too sore for the amount of bending that was required. And then when I'd had my surgery, then as I recovered, I was just getting used to the sort of clunkiness of an artificial joint in my knee, and was starting to use my static bike that I have in my study in preparation for riding my bike, my beautiful red e-bike, out and about in the fresh air. So that was one thing I wanted to do, to ride my e-bike. The second thing that I wanted to do was to play bowls. Now, I'm not one for half measures, so I went out and I bought brand new bowls made to order, a bowls bag with a trundler that I could trundle along behind me, because bags of bowls are very heavy to lift, a bowls lifter to save me some bending down, and a few other little bits and bobs. Oh, and plus the uniform for my club that I decided to join. So yeah, I go in boots and all. I think within a few weeks of starting to play bowls, I was really, really sure that was what I wanted to do. I have a long history of family members that play bowls. My dad's dad played bowls. My dad, his sister, my mum, my uncle, they all played bowls. And I had tried it when I was quite young. I was still breastfeeding my youngest child, who's now 38. So you can understand it was, I started 37 years ago or thereabouts. And I really enjoyed it, but with having a young family, etc., it just wasn't practical at that stage, and I never had the opportunity to pick it up again. So I when I was deciding to retire, I did what I always said I would do, and I went to the local bowling club and I asked to join. And I met some really lovely people, and they've been so kind to me. And unfortunately, with this back issue that flared up and subsequent operation, I only had a little bit of time to play bowls before I was not able to do so. So that's been a real sad thing for me. But one of the things I will say is I've met some really lovely ladies at the bowling club, and they will come pick me up and bring me to bowls just to watch. I can be the cheering squad on the sidelines and still get to have coffee and a chat and a laugh with them. So that's been really appreciated. So that's the second thing I wanted to get back to. The third thing that I wanted to get back to was walking in any form with my husband. Now, when we first met, we would walk in the hills in Christchurch. We would walk up mountains, not Mount Egmont or anything like that. I'm no Edmund Hillary. No, so just some local mountains, and we enjoyed doing that. It was something that we did together, and gradually over time I've had various health issues that have precluded me from doing that with my husband. When we first started here, where we live now, in North Canterbury, we used to go for some walks along the Stop Bank and along the river, and they were really lovely walks. We really enjoyed them, and being together in nature, the birds singing, taking photos with our cameras, just all that kind of thing. So unfortunately, for some time, probably a couple of years, I've not been able to join my husband to even do that. So there's a lot of things that have been out of our reach, or out of my reach, and I've had to make some decisions. So the three things again that I wanted to get back to was riding my e-bike, playing bowls, and being able to walk properly with my husband for nice long walks out in nature. So I had firmly stated that I wanted to do all of those things. And then the voice of reason intruded in my brain, unfortunately, or fortunately. And I thought to myself, what would happen if I got on my e-bike and had another tumble off it after having had back surgery, significant back surgery, no doubt, no less. And what would happen if I canned off, ended up in hospital with a back injury that undid all this work that the surgeons have done, the rehab that I'm going to be doing, all that sort of thing? Was it wise to even think of getting back on that bike? And I've had a few chats with my husband, but ultimately the choice is mine. And I decided, much as I love my beautiful red e-bike, that I'm going to sell it. And it comes with some accessories as well, so somebody's going to get it a good deal, and as long as it has a good home and I get a reasonable price, I will be not happy, but pleased that I've been able to have some time on that bike. But now I acknowledge that with the age and stage I am at in my life, and with the poor body that I've had knocked around in various ways over the years, I only have one body. I only have one chance at the rest of my life. And the e-bike had to go, not just because it could be quite risky, but because it would be selfish of me to worry my husband, to worry my children, to worry my friends, to worry other members of my family, were I to start riding that e-bike again. So I have retained two things that are my goals now. So that the e-bike is gone. Well, it's not gone, but it's being listed today. And but playing bowls I've wanted to do for years and years, over 30 years I've wanted to get back to bowls. And it's not just getting on the green and competing. It's about being social, being with people, having fun, and getting some exercise as well. It's a very comfortable place for me to be, and I've enjoyed making some friends. So the social aspects, the health benefits of getting out in the sunshine and walking, all those things make it a sensible, well thought out plan to go from here. And when I'm ready, probably not till later this year in the new season, I will get back to bowls. And the new friends that I've met have been wonderfully supportive leading up to this operation, and they have all told me somewhat sternly that I need to look after myself, that I'm not to rush back to bowls and undo all my good work. So probably the new season in September is when that will happen. So I'm pleased that I've got people that I can have a laugh with, that I can spend time with, but who also care enough to say, hey, just ease back into it. And then there's my husband. For some time, we measure it in years, 2 to 3 years probably, I haven't been able to be his walking companion. And that's one thing that I dearly want to do, to be able to walk in the fresh air, chatting with my husband or not, as the case may be. Sometimes he gets ahead and I lag behind taking photos, and vice versa. But it's being out there and doing something together that we both love. So it's challenging to kind of think, I'm 64 years old nearly, and I have to start being aware of keeping this body going for as long as possible, not making my life more difficult by taking chances that I don't need to take. I need to be sensible. I need to acknowledge my age and the stage that I'm at, and the fact that I'm not as fit as I once was for so many reasons. But, it's not the easiest thing to do. And I know when I've heard people sort of older than me, when I was much younger, say, oh, I don't feel 64, or I don't feel this, or I don't feel that. I wonder if anybody does. I wonder if life has just crept up on some of us and we sort of suddenly go, no, I can't be 64. You reckon? 64? No, I don't believe you. It just doesn't compute sometimes. You can't possibly have been on this earth for 64 years. And that sounds old, but sometimes, despite my back pain, despite other niggles, it really don't feel 64. It's just hard to get my head around. So I just thought I'd do this piece on basically being at peace with my choices. My choices to sell my e-bike and flag that, acknowledge that that is neither sensible or safe for me anymore. Play bowls, but return to it when I'm fit and able to do so, and spend time with my husband walking. I've also made some other promises to him. I've said to him, I will never get up on another ladder, and I will never do anything knowingly to put my back and my body at risk. There are things that I may not be able to help, but I've promised that I will be patient, and if I need help, rather than being impatient like I have been in the past and climbing on a step stool and taking risks, I will try my very, very best to ask my husband to do these things for me and to have the patience to wait till he has the time. So just a few reflections on accepting our limits as we age. For me, it's not always been easy because I've always been an independent person, fiercely independent, I would say, and I need to accept that I am 64. I have a 64-year-old body with Parkinson's, with arthritis, with various other lovely bits and pieces that mean that maybe I'm getting towards an old 64 at the moment. But once I get off the walking frame, once I'm able to walk unaided, once the pain is either gone or manageable, then I will start to live my life afresh and get out there and do things with those I love and the new friends that I've made. So wishing you all health and happiness. This has been Sue for Parkies and Me, my journey with Parkinson's. Kia kaha, be strong, be brave, be you.